Well, this was news I was not expecting to hear today on this Wednesday afternoon. How we doing, everybody? And hope you're all having a great day. Well, we have some news from Motorsport Games. As I already said, not news I expected. So, Motorsport Games announces Stephen Hood as new CEO. Effective today, the 19th of April, 2023, Stephen Hood will now be Motorsport Games CEO, while outgoing lead Dmitry Kozko continues as director to help find fresh investments. So, pretty straightforward. Kozko is the guy trying to bring in the money now, and Stephen Hood is the CEO. Now, before we dive into this, Stephen Hood is no stranger to Motorsport Games. He used to be the president of Motorsport Games before Dmitry Kozko came in and took over everything and kind of led the path for Motorsport Games. And before we dive into this article by Traction, I just want to say, in my opinion, I'm not feeling confident about having Dimitri still on the team, but now that we have Stephen Hood back on and as obviously a huge role as CEO in the company, I think there is a lot of potential that if Motorsport Games can be turned around, in my opinion, this is the only way possible. Now, let's go into the rest of the article. Following a period of uncertainty, embryonic video game developer Motorsport Games has formally announced a new CEO and president. Stephen Hood has taken up the CEO role according to a new 8K filing, heading the team that has team members spread across Australia, Georgia, the UK, and the USA. Outgoing lead Dmitry Kozko will continue to sit on the board of directors to both ensure the handover of responsibilities to the new CEO and work on future investment opportunities. Also, below you see a picture of the R Factor 2 DLC for the Gen 3 Formula E car, which I actually bought, by the way. Quite a bit of fun to drive. But we continue. Kozko headed the company through a period of change, securing licensing deals to create dedicated games for the real-world series such as IndyCar, NASCAR, the 24 Hours of Le Mans / World Endurance Championship, and the British Touring Car Championship, alongside an initial public offering via the NASDAQ in early 2021. He was also instrumental in securing a new board and external investment, both of which secured the company's immediate future at the start of 2023. This followed the tumultuous launch of a NASCAR 21 Ignition game and the subsequent cancellation of titles originally planned for release based on its technology. And then a quote at the bottom there: with Motorsport Games continuing to focus on creating great racing games, it just makes sense for someone with Stephen's experience to be at the helm, said Kozko to Traction GG. Now, this part of the article kind of felt like it was almost praising Dmitry Kozko, and I don't know how you can issue any praise there, but we'll move on. So, Stephen Hood, meanwhile, arrives off the back of a near 6-year tenure at Codemasters, responsible for the Formula One game series between 2009 and 2014. And you guys think back to the Formula One games, and you look back at F1 2010, F1 2011, F1 2012, 2013, looked at as some of the greatest F1 games of all time so far. F1 2014 certainly doesn't come into that conversation, but I mean, those games there, you think about it, I mean, some of the best F1 games of all time in this generation. But he returns to Motorsport Games following a stint as president between 2019 and 2022. Like I mentioned earlier, he was originally president before, and recently worked for sim racing event platform The Sim Grid, which, I'll be honest, I actually have no clue what that is. But quote here: the opportunity to come back to the company I helped form was too hard to resist, said Hood. It's important to seize this opportunity and move in the right direction for our partners, employees, and fans of racing games. Without the support of those within the organization, my return would not have been possible, and I'd like to thank everyone for their kind words. This will not be easy, and we have much to do, but challenges are there to be overcome. I'm excited to drive the future of this business. I like what I hear from Stephen, and like I said, you know, he was the previous president of Motorsport Games before Kozko came in, and obviously we saw what happened after that went down, and you know, where we have now found ourselves in the NASCAR gaming world and other racing games as well. I think that, like I said, if Motorsport Games has any possibility to turn things around, this is the right person to bring in and head the adventure for everybody. So the article goes on to just say the news follows the company retaining its NASDAQ status in February and delaying its upcoming IndyCar game until 2024, with its NASCAR plans to be confirmed following the closure of its Russian development studio due to the Ukraine war. And then you can see when the article was updated and whatnot. And as well, Traction GG, very important to mention, Traction GG is a part of Motorsport Games and the Motorsport Games family of brands. And you can see that all Traction GG content is editorially removed from Motorsport Games video development and created by a dedicated team. So now let's kind of have a minute or two, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to talk about this happening. So absolute win, I think, for the community. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for much of a better outcome in terms of things happening. Everybody wanted Dmitry Kozko to step down. Now, it's still important to remember he's still on the team, and in more of a role of bringing in money and financials and investments into Motorsport Games is his role currently. And, you know, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Dmitry Kozko for stepping down and allowing Stephen Hood to come in. As I've already said a few times in this video, I think Stephen Hood is the only possible option that's going to save this company in NASCAR gaming over the next few years, because now it's like, okay, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, possibly. It's like a very dim light, you know, very, very dim at the absolute best. So there's potential here, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go. And we talked about Stephen Hood. He was previously president at Motorsport Games for a amount of time. He comes from, of course, a background with Codemasters, so he's got history and experience at, you know, not only making racing games, releasing racing games, he's got experience with successful racing games. That's not what we've had from Motorsport Games so far. It's far from successful racing games from Motorsport Games, as obviously the only game that they have actually developed and released is NASCAR 21 Ignition, and Heat 5 was what I believe, if I'm not mistaken, did Motorsport Games publish that one? I can't remember if it was still under 704 or Motorsport Games at that time. Nonetheless, I still think we just had a small little win here in the NASCAR gaming community. I'm most curious though about what you guys think about this, and where are we going now? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel feeling for you guys, or is it still no hope at all? Because I mean, if I look, you know, at it overall, I think I'm 50-50. Like I said, I can kind of see that dim light at the end of the tunnel, but there's certainly still a very rough path ahead for Motorsport Games, no matter who's leading that team. But like I said, I think they got the right person now to be heading that adventure. But yeah, it doesn't change the fact that there is a lot of work to do for Motorsport Games. I mean, they have to rebuild the whole team and basically, in my opinion, start from the ground up to, of course, rebuild. So we'll see what happens. As well, we also did see, of course, rumors earlier in the year that we might have, basically, for the NASCAR game in 2023, it could just be a NASCAR Heat 5 reskin or a NASCAR Rivals ported over. I'm hoping with Stephen Hood coming in that more things can get done, and maybe he even has a good relationship still with 704 guys, and hopefully he can maybe get a NASCAR Heat 5 reskin if possible created. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for taking the time of your day for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.